Hi, this is howtofilefordivorce.org, and today we're going to show you how to file for divorce in the state of Arizona. So if you look on the left side here in the step-by-step guide, step 1, you need to download the necessary forms, which are the Arizona divorce papers. And that will have all the forms that we're going to be talking about below, and I think it's around 15 forms that you'll need. Alright, and now the spouse that has decided to file for divorce, only one of them must fill out the following forms. And the following forms are all these here. I think that there is about 9 of them. And if you see an asterisk, it means that it's only for the couples that have minor children. So if you were smart or lucky and you don't have any children, then you just don't fill out those forms. Step 3. You will need to submit all the above forms with the Superior Court Clerk's Office. Now there is one in every county, and you go to the one where you live. And after filing and paying the filing fee, now usually we tell you what the filing fee is, but because in Arizona they're a little quirky and every county has its own filing fee. So you'll have to look up to see what it is. And you'll be required to submit copies of all these forms above to your spouse, including a form that's not listed up here, which is the acceptance of service form. Now this form is basically just acknowledges to the court that yes, you did submit copies, one set of copies to your spouse. And you want to be sure to keep the receipt of the payment of the filing fee, because when you go to the court later, you're going to need to have that with you. And jumping up going a little backwards, we're going to tell you what the requirements are. So hold on, we're on step 3. Before you do all this, either party must be a resident for at least 3 months, and that's a resident of the state, not the county. And the only cause for divorce besides adultery and imprisonment is that the husband and wife must be separated for at least 12 months. That means you have to be not sleeping in different bedrooms, but actually living in separate places from each other. And the average divorce takes a minimum of 3 months. So just wanted to get that before you get ahead of yourself. So moving along to step 4, we were talking about the acceptance of service form that you had to get to your spouse. And you're actually in step 4 going to have to get that acceptance of service form back from your spouse completely filled in. And usually that spouse is going to have to sign it. And you will have to file it with the clerk along with the original summons, which is up here, that you filed with the clerk originally. Now, if you have minor children, you will need to fill out the following forms with your spouse. In addition to the forms mentioned above, these 2, you'll need to file these 3. And if you have children, you have to do this child education classes within 45 days of filing the above forms. And the clerk will direct you to the court-approved classes in your area. Upon completion, you will be given a certificate of course completion that must be filed with the clerk with all 5 of these forms if you have children. Again, if you don't have children, just skip on down to step 5. Now, you're going to have to meet with your spouse and fill out and sign in front of a notary. If you don't know what a notary is, it's just basically that's licensed by the state to witness documents. You can find one at every branch bank in the United States. And I think if you don't have an account, they might charge a small fee. I know Bank of America charges around $8.95. But if you have a checking account with your bank, they should do it for free. So you'll need to fill out and sign the consent decree of dissolution of marriage. And you'll need to have 2 pre-addressed and pre-stamped envelopes for each of the spouse's addresses. You will then need to wait 64 days from the time you first submitted all these forms, and in order to get a court hearing date. And you will be notified of the court hearing date either at the time of filing all these forms, or it will be sent to you in the mail. And once you have your court hearing date, you're all set. You just go to your court hearing date. If you have followed all the steps correctly, you will receive a signed divorce decree from the judge. And that's it. That's what you have to do in Arizona, and you're divorce in Arizona is now complete. So that is how you file for divorce in the state of Arizona.